Hey everyone, we're back. Yep, and this is new comic book day. Why? With couple comics right there, man. He's the guy buying the new books and he reads them and he loves them. I'm the guy who's kind of skeptical of new comics right now at this time. But I've been reading new comics for like 17 years now. Right, man? So how's your day going?
Not bad, not bad. Like I said earlier, I'm in the middle of a move, but I still have time to get to the shop and get my comics because we got to prioritize.
Yeah, comic books are a big priority. We got Matt coming in. Awesome, dude. Oh, your show did not go well, so it's cool. I'm gonna do another show on Whatnot later. All right, buddy. I would check out Whatnot, but I tell you guys, man, it gets crazy around July and throughout August and into September. And people just showing up at the house, hanging out. And I'm not complaining. It's fun, right? You got to have real life first, guys. So I'm not always on the computer, in other words. But what I'm gonna do is show just a couple comics I got from Sean recently, and then we're gonna launch right into Will and what he picked up. Because it's the brand new comic book day. Couple comics with my man Will. So I'm gonna go big here.
Go big or go home.
And we're already home. I love that. Well, sorry you didn't make a dime, dude.
That's rough.
Yeah, I shouldn't remark upon the economy because then suddenly everyone thinks I'm saying something about something else. But here we go. 1972. So, I was a baby when this came out, you guys. And it's Defenders.
Nice.
Number 4. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Early Defenders, you guys.
That's a nice one.
Love it. Fellow Defenders. There she is, man. I love the original Valkyrie. Bring me back the OG.
Yes.
And yeah, dude, we've got Sal Buscema drawing these characters, kind of like how Kirby did in some ways, And this looks great to me. I got to be careful. These older ones. Currently, I'm reading, as I tell you guys, J.M. DeMatteis's run on Defenders. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. That's the stuff I grew up on. And then when I finish that, it'll probably end volume 1 of Defenders. And I'll go back and probably start Defenders over,
Nice.
That's how I'll do it. I think I'll do that with the Fantastic Four as well. So we'll jump up to 32.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Pretty cool, huh? Got some Nighthawk and Hulk.
Secret origin of Nighthawk.
I think that people kind of maybe complained when Doctor Strange ultimately left the group. That was no longer the Defenders at that point, but
right.
It still seemed pretty interesting. Well, it was interesting to me as a kid. I knew that Doctor Strange started it. That's all I kind of knew. I didn't read this earlier stuff,
Right. Yeah, I always viewed Doctor Strange as kind of like the team leader,
Yeah. And you got to have your Namor and your Silver Surfer and your Hulk. That is the offbeat team, Nighthawk, Valkyrie, But yeah, why don't we just roll right into
into the new stuff?
Yeah, we'll roll right into the new stuff here.
Yeah, so Matt said it's Wednesday, it's new comic book day, maybe everybody's tapped out, and I was like, I'm tapped out. All right, here's a few of them. I didn't really get to read any this week because I was trying to finish up my reading from the previous weeks, but
right.
We didn't get too far. But we got a Hickman book today.
Okay, is it the Wolverine one?
It is Wolverine Revenge.
Nice.
So this one is polybag because it's the red band.
But we got Greg Capullo art, right?
Yeah, so we got some Greg Capullo. You can't really see him through the red band, can you? The main difference between the cover on this one and the A cover, it's basically the same cover, is that on this one the blood is red, and on the regular A cover it is green. And I say regular A cover because this is also an A cover. So the red band is not considered a variant of Wolverine Revenge. It's just considered
there's added pages, right?
Yeah, but it's considered its own title in itself. So really weird how they did it. It's not a variant. So when a comic shop buys these, they have to purchase the Wolverine Revenge, non-red band separate from. It's actually in a separate section. So from what I understand from my comic shop owner, when you order a comic, like it's all listed. So you got the A cover, B cover, C cover, all kind of listed underneath the same thing.
Yeah.
With the red band, it's in a separate section. They treat it as a separate comic. So.
Well, it's rated R probably.
It's explicit content, but who knows? It is Wolverine. When I crack into it, maybe next week we'll show what was in there. No spoilers today. Not with the red band. All right. What else did we get? We got Rat City #5.
Well, obviously the red band worked for Marvel, or they wouldn't have repeated it, right?
Right. Yeah. So with Blood Hunt, it was definitely a big hit. A lot of the side stories, or the what's the word I'm looking for? The the spin-offs or whatever coming out of it all got like reprints, red band and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Destro #3.
Hearing good things about that.
Yeah, this is a new character. I'm forgetting her name, but I do have it on my phone, so I'll look it up. New character on Destro. Funny thing about my Destro too, I didn't read it yet. I meant to bring it back to the comic shop to see if I can get another one. My pages were all stuck together because the book wasn't like cut right.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so like pages were just stuck together, and I was like, this would be not fun to read because every time I try to go to another page, I'd have to pull it apart or cut it.
Oh.
So I haven't caught up on this yet, but this is the first appearance of the Chameleon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What up, Brian? Brian LCS, thanks for being here, buddy. Yeah, happy NCBD.
What's up, Brian? And here's the. This is the 1 in 10. So cool. I got 20% off the book. So I think I paid $6 instead of the 8, which is basically sticker because I think it's $3.99. So I still paid more than.
Awesome.
But I got both books.
Excellent. And Brian, I did read your book, man, The Doctor. Yeah, and it was good. So
Call me a doctor.
I did read it, buddy, and I liked his attitude in the end where he said, "No, I can handle myself." And should I spoil it? But dude punches a car. So yeah, Brian LCS, man, pretty cool, good stuff.
Yeah, so we'll take a look on the interior with this one. So the artwork in this is I wouldn't call it gritty, but it's not cartoony. It almost feels realistic, but not really. It's comic book realistic. So it looks like the Chameleon is a sniper.
Okay. New G.I. Joe member or villain?
Well, they're attacking Destro, so who knows? Probably at this point you'd assume it's G.I. Joe, but usually G.I. Joe, unless they're going hardcore with the G.I. Joe here, G.I. Joe is not known to be on the offensive. They're usually on the defensive.
Yeah.
The cartoon every week, it's Cobra attacking the Joes and the Joes having to fight him off.
Yeah.
Cobra.
Oops. This thing has a lag today. Not good. Oh, that's looking tight. Yeah.
So
I'm hearing good thing about the Destros.
Good artwork.
What up, Mike? Good talking to you, Mike.
Easy comic reader in the house.
Hope to see you tomorrow, my friend. Very cool, man.
So some decent artwork, some decent panels. And it looks like we have a slight possible origin story. There's Destro getting that mask put on him.
Uh-oh, key alert. Jiggle your keys, everyone. I got a pair of keys right next to me. Keys.
And like I said, this is the also the first appearance of a character called the Chameleon. So
yeah,
there's some.
That's cool. If it's a good quality book, then yeah, it's a fun key to have.
Yeah.
You know.
So what I've noticed, and I wonder if it's a Skybound thing or if it's a Hasbro thing, is that the Energon Verse books all have the barcode on the front cover, and that's typically not how Image does business. But I'm wondering if because it's a Skybound, Image.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Yeah, because here's another Image book with no barcode on the front.
Right. What's up with that?
Yeah. So who knows? But this is
Good eye.
Yeah, this is Local Man number 13.
Local Man.
Tim Seeley, Tony Fleeks. I can't say enough good stuff about that book. I think it's won some awards recently, some comic awards, but it's a really fun read. You know, if you're into past, you know, let's take like a group like Youngbloods or something, you know, something that came out of Image, and you know, let's say that group got older and some guys turned into curmudgeons, and you know, gets kicked out of the group, and he's no longer allowed to be a superhero, you know, but has to wear a ski mask just to walk around, and everybody hates him.
Yeah,
it's a good read, and basically, I can tell you from the cover, these are kind of the ghosts of a lot of the heroes he dealt with and villains he dealt with in the past. I don't know if all of them are still alive, but I know some of them in here are actually have perished during the show. So I haven't read the book yet, but it looks like this might be one of those books where he's very, you know, retrospective on what has occurred up to this point. But yeah, it's on issue 13. It's really good. It's won some awards. I definitely recommend Local Man. Cool thing about Local Man,
it's a cool character study.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good study in how to create a character that's both, I guess you could say, pathetic, but also there's no way to put it, but also very endearing to the reader. Like the reader actually cares about them. They're like, oh man, this guy's the, you know, not the worst in terms of like being a bad person, but like this guy's just, he can't get it together. He's always, you know, always tripping himself up. But here's a cool thing about Local Man is it has a back cover because there's always a B story in there that kind of goes back in time.
And that's more the classic Image cover.
Exactly. And Tim Seeley usually does the backups, and then him and Fleeks work on the main, which I'm pretty sure Tony Fleeks takes the lead on the main story.
Right.
But let's see. What do we have here? Oh, so here you have, I haven't read this issue, but you have a Spawn-like character here using some superpower, and there's a countdown or, you know, a counter, which is kind of what happens in the Spawn book, right? Every time he uses his powers, his necroplasm, something counts down.
Right.
What else? Oh, here's a center page. Very reminiscent of the 90s.
Yeah, that's definitely 90-esque.
Right. And what's fun is this book kind of makes fun of that, you know, the 90s. So the writing is definitely a lot better. Like there's clearly more word bubbles on these 2 pages than there were ever in a whole 90s book. But they, you know, tongue in cheek, they kind of make fun of a lot of the 90s tropes, things that happen.
And so there's the main story and the backup story.
Yeah. And the main story happens in the present. The backup story happens in the past. It kind of follows Local Man when he was, an actual superhero working for a covert superhero team.
Right.
So, but it's a fun book. I like the play there.
Cool.
Yeah, let's see what else.
So,
I think I showed this, but we didn't look at the interiors.
The Energon universe is one of Matt's favorites here right now.
Yeah, the Energon verse is phenomenal. It's pretty fun. Supposedly, the next Transformers book is supposed to have a big thing happening in it. I don't know what, but apparently, according to the all the previews and stuff, it's going to change the Energon verse.
So, okay. Yeah.
And I do agree, any day above ground is a good day.
Yes, that's a given.
So let's see.
Sometimes I laugh to myself that I'm still alive.
All right, so let's see. This is a script by Erica Schultz. She wrote the last issue of Rat City 2, which was very much focused on a female character. So, but it's good to see that they kept this writer on to kind of progress the story, but also they trust her with a male, character. That's when you can have that crossover. Art is Z Carlos. I have never heard of this artist before, so we'll see what's in his book. And the creative director is still Todd McFarlane. So let's see if we could find a nice page. Well, here's a lot more words, right?
Let's hold that cover up again.
You want to see that cover?
Yeah. Rat City. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
And so far, so good, you think? It's kind of a slow burn. Yeah.
So you got some covert, again, military guys who end up with these cybernetic enhancements.
Yeah.
To a mission gone wrong. They basically get blown up and need to have some limbs replaced. And the theory behind it is the government, well, not the government, well, the government funds it, but the scientist who's doing the work is like, yeah, we're going to give them these enhancements with the caveat, not telling, the guys that what's going on, that these enhancements are going to, be used as testing. And also they're going to try to reinstate them into the military if these enhancements are, work well enough for them to be better, like cyborgs, if you will.
That does sound interesting.
Yeah. What up, and then Brent? It ends up that they aren't, like they don't really pass mustard, right? So
they don't.
They keep bringing them in for what they call upgrades and testing, but really what they're doing is just monitoring how this equipment's affecting them so they can, build bigger, better, faster versions.
Yeah. Cool. The Dragon's Lair, Brent, thanks for being with us, my friend.
It's going good. Buddy. It's New Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
And whether you bought new comics or old comics,
it's
just a
fresh
good day
from the store, right?
Comics. Well, yeah. This one. Yeah, this one's so fresh that I think the ink is still dry because some of the pages are a little sticky.
Excellent, man.
Yeah, so the artwork's not bad. So what Todd does nicely in a lot of his books is he finds artists who either have progressed. So we got guys like Carlos Barberi, who in the 90s was fun, but I feel like now he's such a better, he's such a better artist. Or he'll find people who aren't really known yet. And
he did that with Greg Capullo, and now the guy's a huge star.
Exactly. So
that looks pretty good.
Yeah, he seems to want to give people a chance.
So Carlos is doing the art? No,
this is actually, yes, Carlos, but it's Zay Carlos, not Carlos Barbieri.
Okay. Zay Carlos. Okay.
Zay, Z-E.
Z,
or maybe a Z Carlos. Not that Carlos. It's Z Carlos.
Z Carlos. Okay. Wow, that looks good.
Yeah. So this guy, never heard of him before, but he seems.
It's funny. Rat City started slow, where we didn't even get him in the suit, but by the time you get there, this is all made for the trade. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made for the trade.
Like the first 3 issues, it's more of him just talking and doing stuff than
Yeah.
Yeah. Here he is just, I think, stabbing some guy through the chest from the back.
Nice.
It's kind of cheating, right? He's not looking.
I like how you're handling that new book, man.
Yeah.
Just crack it open. You're gentle with it. Canadian survivalist. What up? Thanks for being here.
All right. It's cardstock. It can take a little beating.
Yo, Joe.
Yo, Joe. Oh, speaking of which, on my stream right now, I have a poll up. All right.
Okay.
And it's what's your favorite Hasbro cartoon / comic? And right now it's tied at 50%. Transformers and G.I. Joe. 50%.
Wow. What were the other ones on there?
I just put Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, right now it is tied. It is a tied game.
Excellent.
All right, next up we have Star Wars number 49. I'm a few issues behind this, but Path of Light. Basically, what's happening here is we have Luke getting kind of drawn into the dark side. I guess he's kind of discovering, his anger. But
he's going back into that cave.
Yeah. But as we all know,
and that is why you fail. I remember Yoda doing that, saying that.
Look, they're coming out with an Acolyte comic, even though the Acolyte was already canceled. But Kanaka was looked like an interesting character.
Did you try watching the Acolyte?
I did. So here's my opinion is on the Acolyte was I didn't hate it initially. And then when I thought about it, then I got mad.
Okay, so they did not follow the what's established.
Yeah, it was just too much. So at the end of a series, there should be you should feel at least one character has some redeeming quality. And none of the characters had a redeeming, like I didn't like any character. Yeah.
That's saying a lot, Will.
There was one character I liked, and he did a bad thing, but not like a horrible thing. Like he truly believed in his heart he was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And then like he gets blindsided. Like after he dies, they're like the Jedi Council who investigated it was like he went rogue and did his own thing, and because of him, XYZ died, and like not the truth at all. It was yeah.
So that's saying a lot because you're a nice guy, real graceful with others, and you like your character studies though. So you know me, I'm a lot less tolerant of the new Star Wars than you are. You know?
Right. Yeah. So I did try. I did try to like it. There was some cool things in there. Yeah, Carrie Ann Moss in there, from The Matrix.
Yeah.
I thought she played a really interesting character, though a lot of her scenes were done, her character scenes were done posthumously because the character, like, spoiler alert, dies in episode 1. If anybody wants to watch it.
So how many episodes did it run?
Is it 6 or 8? It was no more than 8.
Okay.
I think it was 6.
They shot a bunch, but they didn't even air it all, right?
I think they had some of season 2 ready to go, and they just canceled it.
Okay. I canceled my Disney Plus a while ago, to be honest.
Did you?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So what I find about the Star Wars books is they're either and the Star Wars proper is okay, but they either have excellent art and the writing is so-so, or they have really good writing and the artwork is so-so. So I don't know.
Yeah. Dropped out of Marvel Star Wars. I dug the first couple volumes of Darth Vader. The third volume started off really interesting, but it's like, no, guys, wrap it up. Let's get past Return. They don't want to. They didn't want to let go of Darth Vader, and so now it seemed like, and the other ones were just bubblegum. A lot of them were, and they just want to do the first appearances and make sales like that. That's what was going on with Star Wars. Yeah. But when Star Wars came back to Marvel, they put a lot of thought and quality into it. I thought, they cared.
There's the whole gang, though. There's the whole gang together. Yeah, and the other thing I've noticed with some of the Star Wars books, so they are almost a scene by scene replication of the Marvel, the Disney Plus show. So
yeah,
like Ahsoka. What was the other one they did? The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
You can either read the comic or watch the show, but you really don't need to do both because they both tell the same story.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Don't you want the further adventures of?
Right.
Don't you want,
exactly. Or what happened in the middle?
Scenes. Yeah, what happened in between. Right. There's so much they could do with Star Wars. Don't get me started with Star Wars. But yeah, going back to what he said, Matt said the new Star Wars has some cool cover art, but you can't get into the stories, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, some of the cover art is phenomenal. And then they have guys like Rodney Barnes working on the show, and that guy's like a legit TV and movie writer, and he's like just writing, verbatim what the TV show did.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's his thing or they, editorial, so them don't really change anything.
Right.
But, yeah. Here's a cool it's a comic newsletter that Chip Zdarsky's been putting out. I think this is the second one. Yep. Zdarsky Comic News 2. And if you know Chip, he's a prankster or jokester, likes a lot of funny things.
Yeah.
What if Superman was evil? It says here, we compile a list of 5,000 comics which answer that question. Writers versus artists. Who's more important? The writer actually.
He started his own magazine?
So it's really just a little newsletter. It is 2 pages. But
he did that?
Yeah, and it's free.
Wow.
And he puts it out. So it's in comic shops, new comic shops.
Is that the first issue?
This is the second.
Second. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I heard about them, but I didn't care or something.
Right.
Now it's like clicking in my head. What up, Mellow Dope? Thanks for everybody.
What up, Mellow? Mellow Dope in the house. A man with a lot of fear, how a true coward wrote Daredevil for 4 years. You look, he's wearing the Ryan Stegman hat.
Nice.
Say. Ultimately, I view fans the way I view myself. I don't respect them.
Well, at least you're honest about that. That's great. Right. You got to make a joke out of it instead of posturing like you're better than everybody.
I like what he wrote about Ryan Stegman here. X-Men, Venom, the missionary. How does he do it all so poorly?
Yeah.
In small. And then comic shop retailers, modern day heroes are the greatest people to ever live.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then on the inside, he's got some more stuff.
Wasn't his Daredevil pretty good?
Yeah, so he does a little interview about his Daredevil.
Yeah.
Here he does an interview with Ryan Stegman. So the first issue kind of focused on Chip himself, and it looks like each concurrent comic news that he puts out, or Zdarsky Comic News, is going to have a different interviewer.
Yeah.
And then on the back, he'll give you some titles that he thinks, Chip's titles for order right now. These are Chip's picks. They're like books he had nothing to do with. They're just so the ones up here are ones that you can order that he's done, and then here are books that he hasn't done that he just recommends that other people have done.
What a smart idea, just to do something like a 2-pager like this, actually.
Yeah. And then he's got his top 10 hot artists, and it's literally 9. What was that?
What has he got listed there?
The top 10 artists?
Yeah.
It is 9 different photos of Ryan Stegman, and then number 10 is a young Todd McFarlane. And then right above it, it says paid advertisement, $5,000.
Well, Stegman did make that remark about, when he was doing Venom, that it's greater than the Watchmen or something like that. That was pretty funny.
Matt says he goes on a rant on Marvel paper quality in his last.
Yeah.
All right, I got a few more books, and then we are done. I only got 4 more this week. It's a lot shorter run than it was.
What's going on with you, Will? We're normally pulling out the stacks.
I know. Well, that's not true. That's all I got for this week. This other bag is.
Okay.
I have another local comic shop near me, and
Okay.
I gave them some business, and I hadn't been there in like 10 weeks or something like that. So this is like 5 weeks of just. If over a 5-week period, if you count all the books, it's maybe 2 books a week or something. But
yeah. So we got back issue galore over there, right?
Yeah, but I hadn't been there in a while because they're not my typical LCS, but I just still like to frequent them.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta spread the wealth sometimes.
Going out and supporting.
Exactly. I'll give my main comic shop, 90% of the business, and then 10% will go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Superman. This is an absolute power tie-in. Superman's pretty much lost his powers.
Yeah.
He's traveling those back magical gateways. You know the name of these, Aaron. I forget the name
Crossroads?
the Crossroads. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, they're using the Crossroads to kind of infiltrate Amanda Waller's bases.
That's a big thing in magical myth. And what side are you going, and what fork? What are you doing as a magician?
Right. So here's some of the interior artwork.
Are you going to make a deal? Or are you going to go the long way around, develop your own thing?
So this is Jamal Campbell, who's notoriously known for not being able to stay on a book for very long because he can't meet deadlines.
Right.
But he's been able to stay on Superman up to, what are we on, issue 17. I mean, he hasn't done every issue.
He is Superman without.
But he's managed to, I guess, work out some stuff with guest artists to keep himself on the book.
Huh.
Yeah, and his art does have these scenes that have depth. So when you're reading it, I don't know how well it plays on camera. It feels like it's almost 3D, but not it's not 3D, but you got the feel that that's the effect he's trying to create for you.
Right. Yeah.
So he does do that very well as an artist. So, and he's got a really good colorist. I forget their name, but it works really well with what they do.
Didn't he help create a character in DC with Bendis? Naomi or something like that. Naomi, I don't know.
Yes.
That's how I know this guy.
And she was big, huge when the book first came out. I remember.
Yeah.
Issue number 1 shot up to $50.
Well, the spec market was still big.
Yeah, back then it was.
Yeah.
And then died really quick. I mean, as quick as it rose, and then got hot again because they were going to do a Naomi TV show. Yeah. I'm not sure if it ever came out or not. But then when it, I guess, wasn't good, or actually it had more to do with the DC universe kind of being rebooted. Yeah. TV and movies. It kind of died again real quick.
And I did read the series, and I got to say, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't blown away by it, but I didn't hate it either. So,
right.
But what makes, something stay hot is when the creative team is really good and they really are pumping out some good stuff. And then it's a new, it's exciting to read. That makes it more collectible long term.
Exactly. Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. Okay.
Some Hickman.
Yes, some Hickman.
That's the Sinister Six Ultimate.
It is. It's the Ultimate Sinister Six. It is Kingpins. They also call it Kingpin Sinister Six.
Okay.
Oh, we got Marvel comic here. Hopefully, I don't rip it while I show you. I still don't understand how they're able to print on tissue paper.
Going back to what Matt said here.
Matt was saying, right? Yeah, it is. It is pretty bad. I remember it was really noticeable the week I picked up comics, and I was like, "These don't feel right."
Yeah.
You know.
And then you see Todd McFarlane doing, you know, his Spawn series at $2.99 cardstock, you know.
Right. Meanwhile, other cardstock books are like $5.99. So.
Yeah.
So you have at this point you have Peter working with Harry. Oh, sorry, Norman. No, I mean Harry.
Yeah, Harry. I think
Harry,
Norman died in this one.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
He got all blowed up in issue 2, I think.
Yeah.
Or 3. And I think that was a flashback, I believe. But you have him working with Green Goblin, and then Otto Octavius is also working with the Goblin. He's not Doc Ock yet.
He's hired help. He's been hired help in the background.
Exactly.
Wasn't he working for Stark too before that, or something like that?
I believe so. Yeah, in the book. And then Iron Lad pops out in the at the end of last issue, and he's like, "I told you I'd be back." And he's like, "Are you guys superheroes yet?" So. Yeah, so you know, in the first issue when Peter gets his tech, there's a very brief moment where, you know, he meets up with this guy and he gives him the technology so that he can grow his suit.
Right.
So in this one too, Uncle Ben is still alive and he's working with J. Jonah Jameson on paper.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's arcades. And that's definitely arcade there.
Yeah.
And then it just says Stan's. Stan's is the store next door. I wonder what Stan sells.
It's cool. Yeah, why? Why though? Like it's like playing with toys. Do you know? And then you recreate like your own story in a different universe. Why, JRK? Why?
Here's some of that
But Hickman is good, but yeah, it's like it's all good.
So Hickman's been doing a decent job with this book.
Yeah.
He started kind of giving people what they wanted.
Here we go. Look at this. Nice goblin colors here.
Got Mysterio, you got Craven. I think it's Swordmaster. I'm not quite sure who the guy with the black mask is.
That's right, Easy. We're not fooled because Jackson Roy changed the Jackson Roy Kirk. We know this.
Yeah, Mr. Negative is in here too.
What? Yeah, wow. You might check out the trade.
Definitely worth a read if you're into a more intellectual segment.
Well, you know, the great thing about Hickman is that he's thorough and he builds up the story, and and then the plot twists are earned. So I've always enjoyed Hickman.
So I couldn't resist, but they had so this was on my pull, and then I had to pick up I think it's the B cover. Yep. This is the B cover. It is the Sinister Six on the cover.
Oh, you got the B.
Yeah. So
first appearance, you guys. Look out.
First cover appearance of the
Dun-dun-dun.
Kingpin Sinister Six.
It's gonna be hot. Or not.
Right.
It would have been hot 2 years ago, 3 years ago, though. I'll tell you.
Oh, 3 years ago, that would have been like a $20 book.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we have Miles Morales Spider-Man #1. This is the annual. That's why it's #1. You notice every annual every year is just #1.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the year they print like 3 or 4 annuals. So you get annual 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. Why not? Just, keep calling it annual anyway.
right?
What difference does it make? You know what I mean? You got some money to
What you
make.
have exactly. Make all the money. 4 annuals and they'll all be red band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have the red band edition too.
But what you have here is, I think Miles goes to Puerto Rico and meets some family members that he's never met before. So you do have some first appearances of Miles Morales' family. Like this looks like, I guess, a bunch of his aunts. I don't know, just a bunch of ladies. And they're saying, "Que guapo," which means how handsome.
Oh, all right.
So I'm assuming that he's meeting family. Here he is arriving in Puerto Rico with the big Puerto Rican flag. I've been to Puerto Rico. I have never seen that flag in the airport. But
okay.
It may exist. I don't know. Let's see. Let's find something here. Well, here you go. I think so right now, I think the artwork is a little cartoony, right? A little
too cartoony for me.
Little
flat. Can do that.
Yeah. And if you look at all the backgrounds, there is no background. It's just lines.
It's almost like anyone could do that on a laptop.
Right. And I'm guessing maybe he's trying to depict movement, but there really isn't much there.
GRK says he gets that a lot, the handsome thing. Hey, handsome.
Yeah, guapo. So here's some more. And even though we got some big panels, it does play a little flat.
Do you like the writing?
With Ziegler? Yeah, I think Ziegler's
he came out with a swinging with the other title, didn't he? Or the beginning of this title or something.
The beginning of this one, he was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And he had some incredible artists too.
Yeah. So I think part of the problem with Miles Morales Spider-Man is he's such a popular character, especially with the younger crowd now, that he's involved in like all the tie-ins.
Right.
So it's very hard, I think, for Ziegler to tell his story because he's got to tell everybody else's story.
Yeah.
So that's my critique on the book now. Like, so Bloodline was out, right? Which was, when that came out, it was Blade's daughter, and then she kind of got involved in the book. And then you go into Blood Hunt, and Blood Hunt became a big part of it. And there's been all the crossovers with Spider-Man. Yeah. So when he did what was the wars? Gang Wars. When Gang Wars was out, Miles Morales' book was tied into that. So right. I feel like there've been very few issues that have just been Miles Morales centric. He's always involved in something else.
Yeah.
And so that kind of hurts the book. So yeah, it is very fair to say that he came out.
In other words, that's my summation of it. Whenever I try to read it,
So it's very fair to say he came out guns blazing, and then.
Well, the art was incredible too.
Yeah. So, but this is the annual. Annuals typically tend to be a little
cash grabs.
Yeah.
So Melodope saying that corners have been cut at Marvel.
Probably. They're trying to save some money. So this is the art's a little better on this. This is a B story. So the artist has changed.
Yeah, see, that's a little better.
Yeah, so it's got a little bit more depth to it. They actually care about the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the other artist who did the main story was just in a rush.
That art's good,
You're right. Like Storm isn't looking too bad here. Who is the main artist? Is it Baldion? And I think it's David Baldion. So he's actually not a bad artist.
I guess the quality of paper has gone down, and you would think that would be suicide to do that.
Right, especially when everybody is complaining. I feel like there was a time when they did the bad paper for like 2 weeks and everybody complained, and then the paper quality improved like that much.
Yeah.
And then now it feels like they went right back to that paper. So,
Yeah. Yep.
all right. And it
And also there was an ink problem too. I even like with especially the red inks, you know, on the cover, it would just smudge.
Right. That was Deadpool, by the way. I have no idea why Deadpool's in the book, but
It's called Shishing.
there.
This is supposed to be the house of ideas, you guys, just so you know. Remember. Yeah.
The idea is to make as much money as possible.
JRK, you know, Todd McFarlane, he's a slugger. Always has been. Now he understands the complaints, and for like a couple of years now, since he rolled out the new no, it's always been $2.99, but since he rolled out the new Spawn books, they're like card stock, you know, covers and stuff.
Right. And it's been $2.99, like you said, for a while. And I think now, though, it was $2.99 when other books were $2.99. And now that books have gone $3.99, $4.99, $5.99, he's like, still only $2.99.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not sure if all Image has gone to $2.99, but definitely the Spawn. Todd McFarlane.
Todd is, yeah, some of them are not like so, but usually the most they are $3.99. So like local
$3.99. Yeah.
Which is fine because this annual was $4.99. This Ultimate Spider-Man was $4.99. So I'll even take $3.99, you know. And Marvel did put out a statement saying they were going to try to keep prices lower.
Well, yeah, the head of Marvel at publishing said they're going to try keeping it at $3.99 and stop with it, with every other one being $4.99.
Right. So they're trying, but try harder.
Try harder. Do better. Right, Will? Let's say that together. Do better.
Do it.
That's the funniest freaking line, man. Do better. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Todd McFarlane always made money off his other stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Did you hear that he raised? He's doing a medieval Spawn figure on Kickstarter, and he's already raised, I think, over $1 million for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He treats and Spawn fans are loyal. You know, he delivers the goods on what they expect most of the time. You know?
Yeah, people go crazy for his action figures. Like,
yeah, his action figures, he actually redefined the toy biz, you know?
Right.
That dude's
he started Image, you know, one of the founding fathers of Image, didn't quite
He never left. Yeah.
And then he went into everything else, toy making, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
And he got all the licenses for stuff. So he did all right. I did read an article that said that at one point he was in some trouble.
Oh, his finances go up and down, but right. That's what I mean. He's a slugger. He still does things himself. He doesn't go with the flow, and you got to respect that. Even though I don't really care for his impacts on the industry, I just don't. But I respect him a lot. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I just looked it up. The medieval Spawn, he wanted to reach $100,000. You know, for him, I guess that's doable.
What up, nothing?
Yeah, he's got 6,740 backers. There's still 28 days to go, and he's already raised $1,354,560.
Wow,
that is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not crazy, but I'm with JRK, but I freaking admire him. I like him actually. I like his attitude, you know. And
the cheapest figure looks like it's $58.
Wow. He makes his money some other way. So we got about 10 minutes, and I think I'm going to run through some stuff here.
Yeah.
This back issues. This is where I go into the back issues, you guys. You know.
Do it.
Yeah.
Give all the people who have seen all the modern books who are like cringing something to live for.
Well, you know, we want everything to be great, you know. I think probably the indies are the ones that are bringing the greatness. DC's doing better than Marvel right now, I think.
Right. And it's not even just in quality of story; it's quality of book, of paper.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do 1992. We're talking early 90s here. Continuity comics with, that's Neil Adams started this in the 80s, but it's crazy, man. Look at him grabbing that, right? And then he's rising up from the grave, you guys.
Crazy man.
Cool. So now, even though I always say this, I lost interest in comics during the 90s, but now I like this stuff, Now I'm like agreeing with my friends who like comics from the 90s, or the early 90s at least, when I felt like betrayed. It's too much flash, not enough content, but actually it's really cool. So continuity comics, yeah, dude, this was a 50 it's a 50 center, you could find these out there. Crazy Man #2. So I want to call it indie from the 80s, like the early 90s. I want to call it that. But, here's indies from the 80s, though, and some beautiful stuff here. I want to tell you what the year is, but it's 1989. So this is when, if you were into punk rock, you were truly a punk rocker. But it's Baker Street #5 by Caliber Press. And they're interacting in an inferno there, And inside you got your stuff. I just love this black and white stuff. I was watching Tempest from Mars, and all my YT friends here. Shout out to you guys who love the DC Silver Age, which I don't really care for, but I'm learning to love it now. Look at this, man. That's freaking cool. This ain't computer generated stuff. So, but yeah, so Tempest had his latest one on Superboy, which were reprints of it, Adventure Comics and Superman and all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, you guys. So I got this from my friend Dave, actually. Baker Street actually is collectible. It's one of those underground sensation things, but it's based on from what I can tell, like the 80s, like some kind of like punk rock scene, or just that attitude behind it, But you gotta love the art.
Nice.
Hey, Scotty got some new comics in the mail today. Very cool, man. Love it. So now we'll go to DC, and we'll go to Higgy Pop actually showed a bronze detective comic, so I'm going to do that here. I got this from Sean. It's Detective Comics 432. I love these floating heads, right? And Batman solves the great rip-off mystery. If only he could solve what's going on with Marvel these days. I mean, or perhaps people have solved it, but they just they don't know what to do about it, right? Here's the Atom as the world's smallest super sleuth, and suddenly the witness vanished, right? It's what I love about the bronze, or about just like older comics in general. If you don't pay close attention, you lose a lot of detail. People were slower back then. They would just like absorb what they were looking at. Aurora Aphex. What do you guys think? Don't even know what that's about. But yeah, we got some. And the first page is always like a splasher, right? They want to reel you into the story.
Whoa, that guy's just ripping cash. What's up with that?
He don't care about money. Yeah, right. But hey, in comics, anything can happen. But it's cool. I love it. I love classic Batman. Very happy to think that was a Neil Adams cover that I showed there.
Peace out to the Jackson Roy Kirk. He's heading out.
Okay. We do get out of the way. I don't know if Mike is doing his show. He didn't do it last week. But we like to get away. We like to move out of the way for four color fossils. Here's a book from the 90s, 1994, and it's Blades. I think this is the first one. It's got the raised. It's got the shiny. It's got spine ticks.
It's embossed.
But I guess they really tried working in Johnny Blaze as simply Blaze. And I totally missed this era. But yeah,
That's cool.
That's Danny Ketch and Blaze. I don't know. I don't understand the dynamic, but you know.
Right. Yeah, now in the comics, they're actually brothers.
Now they're both, and anything goes nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, there could only be one spirit of vengeance back then, I suppose. Maybe that was it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But now you could have a lot of different flaming skulls, right?
I mean, flaming skulls are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are cool. And, you know, you got to love that they rebelled against hell, right? That's the whole premise of it, you know? Some people don't even like the premise of anti-heroes like that, but I think it's great they have knowledge of the darkness and they turn it against them, you know. Anyway, blah blah blah. That's Blaze number 1, and we'll do. Should I do some more stuff here? Should I shut it down? Will you tell me?
You got some time.
Yeah, we got some time. You know. Here's another number 1, but this is Danny Ketch, and this is I think mid-grade. It's not, but I have it, you guys.
That was one of the first comics I ever got signed.
Wow.
And I got it signed by Javier Solter. Yeah, the cover artist.
Excellent.
And then Mark Teixeira signed it later.
Nice. Yeah, dude. This kicked it off and got Ghost Rider popular again. You know? Give them some chains and a new attitude, right? You know?
Yeah.
But I like Johnny Blaze, you know. I like the classic stuff too. I think I might like Johnny Blaze more, dude. That might be blasphemy to some 90s guys that are here, but yeah. It's cool stuff. So yeah, I got the number 1. I remember reading this as a kid, actually. So this is late. This has got to be late 80s. I like looking up the no, it's 1990. Wow.
1990, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because McFarlane didn't really hit. No, he did hit. No, I was still reading when he hit Amazing, when McFarlane hit Amazing. I just jumped out after a while.
Scotty's asking if I have any comics signed by him. I do not. Those are rare.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, man. Flaming Skulls, yeah, dude. Sounds like a drag name.
Or a metal band.
So yeah.
Go with Spine Fleas, by the way. Those are worse.
Rising Rhino saying hi to Will. What up?
What is up?
What up, Rising Rhino?
What is up with the Rhino?
I got a couple more I could show, or I could just move it along here.
Do it. Do it till you're satisfied.
Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's do one more. It's
gonna do one more. It's gonna do one more.
Yeah, could seem obscure. It could seem obscure to some people, but not to the guys who know what's cooking people. Yeah, Rising Rhino. Yeah, dude.
It is cooking.
We're gonna do 19.
By the way, G.I. Joe is taking the lead.
It's taking what?
Transformer. G.I. Joe is taking the lead over the Transformers in the poll.
Okay. What would I choose? What should I? Should I let you guys know? 1981. Legion of Superheroes 50. So I guess this was still a decent book at the time. You got death, or something that seems like the embodiment of death. Life and death and the end of time. Pretty cool. It's just that's a cool like science fiction. I mean, yeah, the colors could pop better, right? It seems like it's, you know, and having this black hole here by his hand is just freaking awesome. It's an awesome image that could have been colored perhaps better, maybe, right? How's that for a critique, you guys? Then you got your Hawk and Dove. They were trying to bring back Steve Ditko characters. I remember trying to get into that when I was a kid, but it didn't work out. But yeah, this looks cool, man. What do we got here? We got Paul Levitz as the writer, and the inker is Mike DiCarlo. So this looks cool to me. I talked to my friend and partner, Cheap Comic Collector, and he's going to guide me, and also Metarog, guide me through the legion of superheroes, and Higgy Pop and all these guys, you know. They freaking love their legion of superheroes. And I'm interested. But that's it, you guys. That's all I'll show. I like to get out. I like to keep this show an hour, you know. But maybe I'll do this. Are you guys ready? Whoa, it's the Joker. Dude, what are you doing here, man? What'd you do with Will?
Check out some modern comics. Why does he sound like Skeletor? I have no idea.
Why'd you do that? Awesome. So yeah, anything you want to say? You want to talk about your poll that you're doing again?
All right. So yeah, we did the who is your favorite Hasbro comic / cartoon. I only had Transformers and G.I. Joe up. We had 6 votes, and G.I. Joe is winning 67 to 33%.
Yo, Joe.
G.I. Joe. Honestly,
Excellent.
I was a bigger Transformers fan. Just putting it out.
Okay, so we are out. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, at the big show, right? Chaotic comic book cover displays and more with friends. And I'll shout out to the August 31st. I'll be doing a dollar claim. Anyone on the YouTubes or your socials, anyone that could help me promote August 31st, the dollar claims, that would be awesome. And that's it, you guys.
$1. That's insane.
$1 with free shipping within the continental US. What is going on?
I don't even know how that's possible.
Am I crazy? No, I just have all these long boxes I need to get rid of, you guys. And I want to pass that on to you guys. So 10 days away. All right, you guys. Thank you so much, all you guys, for being here. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at the big show. And we're out.
Deuces.
See, my finger's still healing.
Oh.
See you on the next one.